at all, you know. So I remember, you know, and I still weighed in. Another time when I fought Elvis Sinset, well back in the day, it was my first fight in Manchester, and I was getting tickets for everybody, you know, loving it, really, loving the attention. It was my first time, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I'll get you tickets. Talk about a fucking pain in the ass. It was a
Handling tickets is a pain in the ass.
Oh my God, because you've got to get the money off the people, then you've got to get the ticket, then you've got to do the transaction. This is day of the fight, you know what I mean? I remember being on my knees day of the fight with hundreds of tickets and cash everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, why did I do this? Oh no, sorry, it was the day of the weigh-in, pardon me.
Okay.
Anyway, and I was so stressed out with it, and I drove home. I thought I'll sleep in my own bed sorry, it was the night before the weigh-in, pardon me. And I'm driving home, and I was so stressed out, and I was hungry. I hadn't eaten all day because I forgot. I was too stressed, and as I'm driving along the freeway, I don't really eat Burger King, but I saw the sign for Burger King, and I was starving. I thought, fuck it. So I pull off, and I get a triple Whopper with cheese and bacon, fries, and a large Coke.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there, and you know the noise that it makes when you get to the bottom? That sound, as it went, what am I doing? I'm fucking waiting tomorrow. Holy shit. Because I'm so stressed out with the goddamn tickets, I forgot all about it. So I'm like, crap. So fortunately, I just stepped on the scale, no problem. And with Rashad Evans, same thing. I just stepped on the scale. So after that, I was like, okay, what can I change? Well, I'm not making the sacrifices I could be, you know, to be as successful as possible. So that was, you know, moved down to middleweight. And Ortega, you know, he's not going to drop weight. He doesn't need to. But
he doesn't need to.
He can work on some things, you know. He can learn. Simple as that.
Yeah, he most certainly can. I mean, he's got tremendous jiu-jitsu, and his boxing's very good as well. But, you know, when you experience that kind of a fighter, when you experience that kind of a champion like Max Holloway, you understand that there's areas where you're exposed. There's areas where you have holes, and you have areas where you can't compete with him and as successfully as you have been with previous fighters. So it's a learning experience, and I'm sure he'll be better because of it.
I would say because of the third round, then yeah, you know, he certainly made it competitive in the third round. He landed a couple of good shots. Because I was going to say, you know, in some circumstances, it doesn't matter. You can go away, work your ass off. You're never going to beat that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? All the work, all the coaches, spend all the money, dedicate your fucking life, go live in a monastery in fucking China, do whatever you want. You're never going to beat that guy. But in the third round, he kept him honest. He landed some good shots. So I wouldn't say that's necessarily applicable. You know, but he's certainly got to do some work, you know, in the striking department.
Yeah, in the striking department, and I'm sure in the wrestling department as well.
Sure.
You know, he got him down briefly, but Max did a fantastic job of stuffing it, getting back up to his feet, you know, retaining, you know, getting
for sure. I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn. I did find it somewhat curious. Is it Henner Gracie?
Yes.
Henner Gracie giving him the boxing advice in the corner.
Yeah,
I found that somewhat curious.
Yeah,
you know, when I had my fights, Jason Perillo, if the fight was on the feet, he was giving the instructions. When the fight hit the floor, Brady Fink took over. Yeah. You know, and if there was elements, you know, they knew their elements in the corner. You know, he'd say his bit, boom, you go. You know, no disrespect to Henry Gracie, he's done amazing things with Brian Ortega by everything I see online. You know, congratulations. You know, but when you're getting outstruck, I don't really want advice from a jiu-jitsu coach.
Right. No, that's a good point. It's a very good point. You know, it's interesting. Like you had a great situation with Jason Perillo and the other coaches that you worked with, and sometimes a young fighter needs like a mastermind, right? You need like a Matt Hume or a Faraz Zahabi, someone who could put it all together for you. A John Crouch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was also going to say, and this is probably, well, by all accounts, it is what Henner is to Ortega, a mentor as well.
Yes.
It does seem like he is his mentor. So for that, you know, maybe I shouldn't have quite said it in the words that I did use. You know what I mean? It seems like that is his mentor, his father figure, whatever it is. So there's a reason why he is there. But for sure, bring on an expert, you know, in those areas, a specialist. You know?
Yeah. It's you know, it's a crazy world, the world of fights.
In mixed martial arts, you know, I mean, as I said, there's a lot of fakes.
There's a lot of that, and there's a lot of it works good now, but then when you fight a world-class fighder, you realize why there was holes in that.
Yeah, you'll find out pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, when you got a coach that's never... Now, you don't have to have real-life combat experience to be a good coach, but it helps. It certainly helps, and it helps the fighter really trust the advice that they're giving you. You know?
Yeah.
For a fighter to be standing there and telling you to throw combinations. Have you ever been in there? You ever experienced what it's like to have another guy trying to take your head off every time, and you're going to talk shit to me?
Did you see the Mike Perry video?
No.
Platinum Mike Perry. It's fucking,
no, I know who Mike Perry is.
It's a great video.
What did he do?
People telling him like when you're fighting, and the coach is like, go, 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 go. He's like, I'm not trying to get right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's
a
what
great
it is.
video
no,
too.
I know.
Mike, he's an intense guy, and he's talking about it. And he's like, we're faking, we're faking, we're fainting. We're trying to make our way in, but make a move because no one wants to get clipped first. And
yeah, well, I remember, when I fought Rashad Evans, it wasn't the most action-packed fight, and when I watched it back, I was like, fuck.
Right.
Why didn't I just go for it a little bit more? And then I'm like, because I remember, because every time I took a step forward, woof, I felt the wind of the punches nearly taking my head off.
Yeah.
When you sit, even myself, when you sit and watch, you're like, why aren't I doing more? But then you take yourself back to when you were in there, and you're like, that was why. That was why.
It's such a tricky situation, and the fight game evolves. The styles evolve, and the way guys pursue fights evolves. It's really interesting to watch. You see a guy like Mighty Mouse who does things different than anybody else, and you go, oh, well, look how this motherfucker does it.
No, for sure.
It's a sport where you were incredibly fortunate in that you got to not just be there when it was exploding, but you got to be a part of the explosion.
Sure.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
It's like 2006. You were in the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, 2005. I flew out. It was December 2005.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy, man. It really was. It was good times.
That's when it was just popping.
Oh, yeah. I remember when The Ultimate Fighter first came out, and it was on Bravo TV in England. Well, same as here. And I said to him, check this out. And she's like, I can't watch it. I'm like, why? She's like, on there, you'd win the thing. So I don't want to watch it. It's not fair, Michael. You should be on there. And then lo and